Welcome back. It's a Monday, which means we can just sit down and enjoy our week ahead of us. But let's start off with some Data Live. Get it off to a good start. Of course, we don't have to go through the tiring work of writing and drawing our own mangas, but not quite the same for the characters in the show at the minute. Tight deadlines are one thing, but hand cramps and insomnia are another. Is it all going to pay off? Probably not. But let's find a way. Sit down, grab a drink. Let's start some more Data Live. Okay, so far the sights and smells of Comic-Con seems pretty on point. Doing fairly well, selling a couple of books. I mean, famous artist versus new author. It's not really surprising, but advertising. I mean, does this have any relation at all to the product that they are buying? Does the manga that they have written have these costumes in it, or is it purely a marketing stunt? I'd be kind of upset if I was tricked into purchasing. And considering that it's now just down to the public perception, I guess, and where they're willing to spend the money. Not really a battle that can be influenced one way or another, unless you've got a certain diva who can control minds and actions. You know, maybe if they're really far behind, just a little shunt in the right direction, no matter how underhanded. I do. Was that his sister there as well? Maybe if the front cover was slightly more interesting, it would have brought a few eyes on as well. He hasn't purchased yet. It's just okay. Her sales technique needs a little work, but who am I to disagree? He was effective, basically strong-arming. Two lines, those who have money and those who are wasting their time. Is this interference or good business practice? I mean, invited. Did she suffer a stroke and that's all she can say? Maybe I was too harsh on her. Something of that nature. I mean, if it's Toka that's part of it, is that really all that surprising? The amount of times that he's seen that warning. It's a good way of subverting the public, getting the information about spirits and whatnot out there. While also not causing a panic. Yeah, don't worry about it. They're classmates, that's why. Considering this is the world where she had the bubbly personality before, now going kind of cold. Okay. How many copies did she print, though? And established artists and authors. Ha ha ha. I see. Using celebrity status. It's a stampede! Yeah. One would think they were playing Jumanji, but nope. Just selling some manga. So, no matter what, if it's for the game here, for the victory, she can put her anxiety aside. How many handshaking events and whatnot has she skipped out on? If only he was 2D. Is that a without glasses? He's... And what a way to meet again. Came of her own, on her own volition. Why did you disappear? Did I do something wrong? Yeah, that one. Can she at least be... this one's free, for old time's sake. Uh-huh. So to avoid learning anything preemptively, I mean, how many of us have ducked out just before taking anything seriously? It's easier to avoid than to conclusively know and be upset. Now he's going to angrily help her. Yeah, would this argument between two mangakas be awkward to see if you were standing there just... Can I have my manga, please? Well, don't be so sure about that. That fan in particular, he doesn't know anything about privacy. He hasn't for a while. But that fan is getting a long handshake there. It's not like people have never seen him in compromising positions before. So, you're too late, everyone. Maybe try next time. Did they keep us a copy aside just for that occasion, or did they sell it? That would be the funny way of doing it. Kind of on the nose, isn't it? I mean, it has to compress everything into a small enough story. And with no editor or experienced staff. By actually putting in the effort. And I say truth is stranger than fiction. It changed her heart in many ways. Well, actually, the spirit power and Ezio and whatnot did that, rather, but still. And we're only 12 minutes in, which means things can go horribly wrong from here. Uh-huh. An opening, a success, a long nights paying off. Is this a Cinderella tale? Just reached that time of night? Ah, great. You may want to get to a safe distance if this is a Spacequake episode. And what brought this on? Was she a ticking time bomb from the start? Nice effect, though. Miyazaki is happy with that shot. Interesting outfit. And if normally she had the angel weapon thingy to have all sorts of knowledge, what does inversion have? Yeah, good question. Why? What held off? Was it seeing that friend for all this time? Ah, so giving her another lease on life, another something to believe in. Cool. Subcranial surgery. It would then reimplant it all again. Uh-huh. Even for diabolical means, it seems rather convoluted, this way of... this way of going about things. Now we've got Beelzebub. Nowhere near as frightening as I would imagine. Yeah, she is. Not learned much, has she? Shoot first, think later. Did she check to make sure there was nothing behind those spirits, just in case? Even if she didn't turn up, there'd be a certain suspicion, or should be at least. So at least, straight on the offense. You got a battle plan. What? Just her presence alone. Ah, being able to write the future. You may want to stop the quill. Well, you've just upset her to no end. Not much has changed. Considering she likes to transform others, being amazed to use substitute on herself. That was funny. With there was no overhead slash. Why did it cut in the middle? And how much is this going to take out of him? This would be a perfect time for... Artemisia. That's a name. Oh, they can start rolling in Fate soon. I guess I just extracted the spirit core that was given to her. Oh, no, just inverted spirit. Okay. Well, I mean, they did invert her, I guess. Couldn't you have done that in private, away from a bunch of spirits that may not want this to happen? In case there was any inverse effects. Yeah, I guess this would be the one power out of all of them you really don't want him to have. Maybe with Miku's Gabrielle as well, you wouldn't want that either. He really never grew out of being in 8th grade, did he? Yeah, don't count out the others, since the main fight was handled. They have no need to dally. Ah, yeah, it's like a good meal. You don't want to scarf it down all at once. You keep your hands off my cleaver. What's a cleaver? Of course, just from context, I know what it is. In case anyone wanted to hurriedly type in the comments. So while they stole the majority of this inverted power, the bit that she managed to snap back. Yeah, but is that Ben for the best right now? I mean, if he seals her spirit power, she still had a massive laceration, a through and through wound in the chest. That's going to need immediate medical attention. Able to make a... It's not a snappy joke or a pun. It's... more of a trope at this point. Or maybe the wound cauterized itself, thanks to the use of the energy blade. This is why one should always avoid crowded gatherings, especially if it's a Comic-Con. You'll never know what may happen. I've never quite understood, other than just for the sake of it, why when you have villains of this Ike's likeness so openly and wantonly being such a bastard, like unforgivably evil for no real reason other than unlimited power. I mean, you could have gone for a different way. The old switcheroo subversion, getting Shido and Ratuska on his side and help him out would have made things easier. And then, the double cross, rather than, ha 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 ha, I'm going to be a thorn in your side the entire way. She has seen some rehabilitation. Do you think she can get back to drawing soon? Did anyone get her contact number? It was doing her no good anyway. Uh-huh. Beware. For some of them, about a week and a half ago. That's opening a whole buttload of worms cans of... Coming from anyone else, it would be like, are you sure about that? Coming from the one that held Raziel, the Arch Tome of Knowledge. What? We're pure spirits. Yeah, it's fine. Are you sure about that? Well, now I'm not. If she was converted 30 years ago, give or take a few years, 30 years ago, if the twins and Toka and whatnot don't remember becoming spirits, was it memory loss or many years before that? Considering Toga has that whole night aesthetic, how long have these plans been in motion? And the 5 years or so, sure, if that's the data glitch spirit mother giving out powers, that all kind of all ties together nicely, sure. 30 years adds a few questions. Now with that, even more. Is it more like a... But considering he has now obtained just the tiniest sliver of power from the fortune spirit and made it his own, does he get to use that well, maybe not encyclopedia of knowledge, but more a fortune cookie of hints? Your outlook is good for the next week. But it is nice that near fatal damage is more of a suggestion in this show. Being run through by a sword of energy and light, it's just a flesh wound. Don't worry about it. Might be a while before she attends any more Comic-Cons. Luckily for everyone, me included. It is kind of funny that they spend all of that time and energy making a manga based on their life just for her to be like, well, this is unrealistic. Check it in the book. Oh. Not much creativity went into it, but, you know, life stories and all, just as good. Was it the manga that changed her mind, or the fact that Shido's outlook and attitude has stayed consistent throughout the entire thing? Wanting to help people no matter what the damage is to himself. Still, very so convoluted bullshit. Oh, we've tortured her for years on end. Nothing's worked. Let's put a chip into her brain, so should she ever find happiness, haha, one more chance to fuck with everything. Who invented that chip? How many years of neurological research went into the fuck yourself mind chip? Let's ask Elon. But with that, I'm going to take a break before Secret Service knock down my doors. So, if you've enjoyed this, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing to the channel to not miss out future episodes. Maybe even join onto my Discord if you want to have a bit of a chat and any notifications for when and if things go wrong. When being the optimum word. But since I don't know so much, I'm so glad to have you here with me. Get some rest though, so that I can see you in the next one. My patrons are the ones that have forced me into a battle of wits that I will undoubtedly lose, but are forcing me to keep my channel alive with my own manga sales, that is, anime. Well, if you would like to join them, consider joining onto my Patreon as well, and be alongside the likes of Sal, Guado, Kite, Ruben Filamawa, Wolfie Sensei, and everyone else. And for once, we don't need to dress up to do it.